Yo, got you guys with the striker guide. Striker just got a ton of buffs, so I know a lot of you are wanting to go striker now. So I'm gonna give you guys this video to kind of help you guys out if you guys end up making a build. But before I start, I want to preface this, and it's very important. Almost everything I'm gonna be talking about in this video is revolved around this build. This build is the best striker build you can make. 30 striker, 10 warrior. Now, I know it says they buffed the striker armor, but the warrior armor is still just infinitely better. After the striker buffs, or to the armor buffs, you're getting around 900 armor. And if you look, obviously I have almost 1,000 more armor than what you would get if you had the best striker armor. So again, it's just like no contest. Going 10 warrior is just infinitely better. So yeah, everything I'm going to be talking about in this video is revolved around this build. This is the best striker build you can make. Do not go 40 striker. It is not worth. Okay, this is better. Okay, now that I got it out of the way, let me talk about the moves first. Now, the moves are pretty simple. Like in my warrior video, I'm going to stress this again. Aegis battle aura is the best battle aura, especially on this. And it's a little bit better on striker than on warrior actually, because on striker you get more HP, right? Because you get more stamina scaling. So you actually get a better shield. You see that minus 227. I think on warrior it was like 200 flat. So it is a little bit better. And this build kind of struggles with a little bit of sustain. I know that striker hits the passive, but again, do not go 40 striker. I think you get out like level 37 or some shit. But this is like the only sustain you really have on this build other than your lifesteal moves on your subclass moves. So definitely go Aegis battle aura is the best battle aura. And then in terms for the rest of the moves, it's pretty straightforward. You kind of want to just use these bread and butter moves, being rapid strike, which is probably your best move, uppercut, blast, leap smash, and then your subclass moves. You could swap vertical strike for something that I'm going to talk about later, being shield bash. Blast is fine, and then I recommend using wind slice instead of rock bullet. I just don't have a wind slice scroll, so obviously I don't have one on, but wind slice serves as a really good kind of gap closer, and not gap closer, but something to tag people from range, because the only thing you really have is blast, but blast is it goes in a straight line, right? Like you can't aim it up. So definitely run wind slice if you can get it. And then you want to run just focus training. You don't have to run this third focus training. I just don't really have anything to replace it with, or maybe like trained. But yeah, if you run focus ring 2, you're pretty much infinite focus. Like you guys can see, like my focus is like good. Like I'm really never like I'm never like drained on focus really ever, because you never like spam your kit all the time. Yeah, that's pretty much it for moves. Pretty simple. Like these 4 moves should be like perma on cooldown because of how much you're using them. Next, I'm going to be talking about subclasses. Now, they buffed both the subclasses in this update, and I actually think both of them are good now. But I do want to mention something, that if you're going this build, this 30-10, again, it is the best striker build, but if you're going ashura on this build, you need to be running golem, okay? And this is because the golem move applies knockup, and obviously if you want to proc knockdown in ashura, you need moves to knock up, right? But one of the moves that you use a lot to knock up is rampage, and obviously you don't have rampage on this build because you go 30 striker instead of 40. So that serves as a good substitute to rampage, right? So again, if you are going ashura on this 30-10 build, make sure you're running golem, okay? And then if you're monk, just run elf. Elf is just one of the best races, and especially good on monk because you get a better cooldown on spirit shift, right? But in terms of which class or which subclass is better, it's really just preference. Yeah, I'd say both of them are viable now. Before, I'd say like monk was just definitely clearly better, but I think ashura is just as good now. So it's really just preference what you want to use. But yeah, again, make sure you're running golem if you're running ashura on this build. Alright, next I'm going to be talking about armor. Now, obviously this armor set is the warrior armor set. So if you go with this build, just literally just run the warrior armor set. Being turtle shell, Hodor's war helmet, I don't have it. These boots, the champion cape, and then sash, right? But on this build, you can run a shield. So if you're someone who has Lanza's Merit, being the shield from Lycanthar, the Colosseum boss, definitely run Lanza's Merit over warrior sash. The armor difference is kind of crazy. It's like, I think it's 230 armor, so you're easily hitting above 2,000 armor with that, and you get good magic resistance, so it's good at PvP too. Obviously you just miss a little bit of strength, but you can put rune slots on it to kind of make up for it. So yeah, if you are running a shield, I'd only do it if you have Lance's Mirror, otherwise it's not worth. You should just run Warrior Sash. Now this ring set that I have on right now is pretty good, although swap out Ring of Vitality for either Vampiric Ring or Piercing Band. Both of them are direct upgrades. I just have this as a placeholder. I don't have any of the other ones. Philosopher's Ring is really, really good in PvP. I'm not gonna lie, this is like a must in PvP in ganks, because you don't really have, there's no health packs, right? So you have to kind of rely on your potions. Focus Ring, again, I showed you guys my focus earlier. Like, you have so much focus on this build, and this is a reason why. And then Primordial Ring, I think this is good as a stacks with your weapon passive, and especially on, again, you see like your hunger drains really fast in this build, so getting that damage buff is really nice. Ruby Lantern, obviously, and then the bags don't matter. Now, in terms of weapons, there's 2 weapons you could really use on Striker, and this is Direberry Gloves, which I have on right now, and the Elder Gauntlets. The Elder Gauntlets have better stats than the Direberry Gloves. They do more damage, and I think they have 10 Spirit instead of 2 Stamina, but the main difference being that the Elder Gauntlets don't have a passive, and this one does. So it's kind of just preference if you want to sacrifice the passive for the better stats or not, but I personally just like Direberry Gloves more to stack the passives. And then, like I mentioned before, if you run a shield, just run Lance's Merit. Now, something you can do, which I don't see a lot of people do actually, is you can run a secondary weapon that has max stamina rune slots on it. It doesn't matter what it is. It could be a weapon that has base stamina on it. And then you could press C and then use Aegis Battle Aura. Because Aegis Battle Aura scales off your HP, you would get a little bit more HP on your shield. And like, you don't, it's just like free HP, right? You don't really lose anything. So if you guys want to do that, you can. It's something I do on my priest build to give me better HP on my holy shield. I just have a weapon with more spirit. I don't see a lot of people doing this, and it's kind of niche. Like, it's not that crazy. It's just something little you could do to min-max. But if you guys want to run something in your secondary to do that, that's completely up to you too. That's pretty much it though. I'm gonna put some 1v1s for the rest of the video. I don't think I clipped my big gank that I was in, but I did clip a random 1v1 that I was in, so I'm gonna put that in the rest of the video. That's pretty much it though. Peace.